Hey guys, so I'm going to service my 6L50 transmission in this 2015 Chevy Colorado. Alright, I'm going to have these ramps right here. I'm going to get a little bit more height on it just to make it a little bit easier. Don't really need it, but I think it'll help a little bit. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so we're all set up. Going underneath on the passenger side. And then there's a plug over here that we need to take out. See that plug way up there? Let's see, it's right here. And there's like a plunger that holds it in. You have to pop that plunger up and then pull the whole plug in. So it looks like this. And that's the plunger that holds it in. See that plunger right there? Push this in. So it got that out. And so now I have a transfer pump. Bought a $7 transfer pump from Harbor Freight, and I'm gonna put in that hole. I'm gonna get all the fluid out of this, or as much as I can out of the pan before I drop it. I'm gonna take all these bolts off from around it, and then yeah, I'm gonna pump the oil out right now, and I will get back to you guys. So basically, transfer pump worked awesome. It worked so well. Got all the fluid out of it. So now I'm gonna drop this pan and change that filter. So now basically I'm taking all the nuts out from around the pan. And yes, they don't give you any room to get this thing out. So now we have to drop the exhaust. So basically, I had to drop this exhaust. I had 6 bolts, 3 on this side, 3 on that side, and then there's a bracket here that I needed to remove. It wasn't that bad. It took like 20 minutes. So now, ready for this thing to fall out. Let's see what it looks like. And here we go. And there's the filter right there that I want to change. It's probably never been changed. These gaskets, I hear you just reuse those, so I'm reusing that. I got a new filter for it, and yeah, clean the pan up, put new oil in it. Not looking bad. Alright. Okay, so we got things cleaned up. I got the filter changed on this thing. I got the pan cleaned up, the gasket cleaned up. And now we're getting ready. I'm going to put this thing all back together. Get all this oil off of me. From what I read online, 80 inch-pounds of torque on these bolts. So you need a inch-pound torque wrench, which I happen to have one. And then, yeah, we'll get all this back together. I'm gonna pump the fluid back into it, same way I pumped it out, because you pump it right back into that same hole. There's a drain hole right here. You open this up, and then you fill it through the fill hole, and then when it starts to overflow, that means it's done. So I'm gonna put all the screws back in this, and I will get back to y'all. So I'm going to put all these screws in lightly with this gun, just to make it faster. I don't have an air wrap. Just really light. No kind of back and forth. Then we'll take the torque wrench and we'll torque them all. 80 foot-pounds. I think I missed one. That's 80-inch pounds right there. There we go. 80-inch pounds all the way around. So basically we got it all back together. Got the exhaust bolts back in and the oil pan off or back on. And yeah, everything. The messiest part about this whole thing was when I pulled that filter off. It wasn't coming and all of a sudden it came out and sprayed oil everywhere. So just kind of watch out for that. But it came out easily. Wasn't too bad. Just take your time. And I'm going to get it off these blocks and then I'm going to pump fluid in it when it's nice and level. I'll get it back to you. So basically I ran the transfer pump hose down to the transmission from up in the engine compartment, and I'll pump from up there, make it a little bit easier than pumping underneath here. The hose runs upstairs there, and yeah, we're going to go here. I got the drain open, so basically when it overflows into this catch here, that means it's full. So yeah, we are ready to pump. So this is my pump setup right here. There we go. So we're going to pump about 6 quarts into this thing. Got to make sure that the bottom of that hose doesn't hit the bottom of the can, because then it just sucks it in and doesn't let the fluid come out. But this thing works so great. This $7 pump from Harbor Freight, this is a lifesaver right here. So this is 4 quarts right here in this 1 gallon, and then I got a couple more quarts in the bag here. This is the Mercon 6 full synthetic. So it's overflowing now, so 4 quarts made it overflow. So I think I got to start it and run it through the gears, warm it up a little bit. So basically I pumped 5.5 quarts into this thing, and it's coming out. I put 4 in and it started coming out, and then I started it, put it in forward, put it in neutral, let it warm up a little bit, and then pumped another 1.25 quart in it, and it's dripping out right now. So I'm going to plug that up in about a second and then basically be done with this project. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was 2 hours it took me setting up, getting things ready, doing it. I dropped the pan. The exhaust was in the way. That wasn't that bad. I put some oil on the bolts to loosen them for the exhaust, and they had to use a breaker bar, and they just snapped loose. Once they snapped loose, they were fine, and everything went right back on perfectly. It was simple putting it back together. So yeah, it was. I'm gonna put this plug back in it when we're all done, and clean up my mess, and call it a day. All right, cool. Thank you. Bye.